G'day folks, it's Laura here, and today I'm going to do a flip cup pour. This time my colours include aqua, jade, smoked pearl, turner's yellow, lustrous gold, iridescent precious gold from Pebeo, as well as titanium white. So for my pouring medium today, this is my standard pouring medium except for the fact that I have added a little bit more gloss medium to it. So I had a little bit extra left over and I've added some extra gloss in there. So I'm getting to the end of the bottle here, so I've just had this bottle upside down for a little while to help it drain out. But I think we are now very much at the end of that bottle. So for the last couple of cups here, I'm just going to use a slightly different pouring medium just to complicate matters. This one's a trial pouring medium, but I've got a little tiny bit left, which should be adequate for this. Just add some to the other colours as well. Okay, so that's the end of that bottle too. Now this iridescent precious gold is rather a lot thicker than the other paints because it is a Pebeo paint, and I did actually use more of the slightly thicker pouring medium with it. I'm going to leave it without diluting it and without trying to create the same viscosity between all of the paints, because I found that having some of the paints actually being slightly different viscosity can create some interesting effects sometimes. It's just this colour, this cup, that is actually the thickest one. It's time to layer the cup now, and for this I'm going to use my standard cell activator. I'll link to a video on how to make this if you're interested. Now this is the white cell activator, and I will also be using some of the lamp black cell activator as well. I'm just going to start with a layer on the sides and the bottom of the cup. Okay, I think that's the end of this bottle. So I just have a new bottle here as well. So I've just dropped this thick iridescent precious gold in a dirty cup style from a bit of a height to create a little bit of mixing. So we'll see what that does for the end result. So I've already prepared my canvas. This is the back of my canvas, and I've added painter's tape as well as giant push pins. It's time to flip the cup now. This is very liquid paint, so it's likely to go everywhere. There we go. Just drag it that way slightly so I've got a little bit more room. Ooh. Well, this is looking quite interesting to start with. Now I'll get the rest of the paint out of the cup, spread it around the edges and the corners. And I have a bit of table paint here, which I'll also pull up and pop on the edges as well, just to help everything slide a bit better. Okay, so I'm going to start by popping the bubbles with my heat gun. Ooh, so I'm liking this one so far. I've got a lot of really interesting patterns happening, some really subtle patterns in the center, some beautiful lacing, some interesting color combinations. Most of the paint is down in this section, and it is very fluid paint this time, so I'll shuffle the paint just a little bit to center it, I think, to start with. Yeah, look at that paint go. That is very fluid. Bring it back to the center. Push it up into that corner a little bit. Pull it back to the center again. And see if we can spin it out from there. Okay, so I am off quite a few of the edges. I'm off this corner. This corner is very close to being done, and it's just these two top ones now. So I'll just pull the paint a little bit in the top right direction, help that along. I might also grab some more of the table paint and pop it up in that section. Okay, I think I'm ready to spin it again. And I am just going to put a tiny bit off center to try and get this top right hand corner a little tiny bit. So I'm absolutely thrilled with this piece. This is incredible. It's exactly what I'd like to happen every single time I do an acrylic pour, which of course it doesn't. but I've got so many beautiful elements in here. Okay, so where do we start? On the right here is a section that I really love. It's got a very subtle set of gradations of layers of different kind of colors that are intermediate hues. So we've got a little bit of the gold in there. This is the iridescent precious gold, which is creating a little bit of a browny kind of feel. And we've got some of the black cell activator in there as well, against some of the aqua and also the jade. So over here, absolutely loving that combination of colors. In the center top here, we've got some beautiful lacing coming through with very soft gradations. That's coming down here through the center into some yellow kind of colors, the Turner's yellow, I think it must be. And then here on the left, the bottom left corner, we have this beautiful shoreline effect. So we've got some of the white as well as some beautiful kind of traces of the brighter gold and yellow colors in amongst the aqua and the jade, and a little bit of delicate lacing. So overall, my goodness, I'm absolutely thrilled with this piece. So to finish things off, I'm just going to cover the corners and pull the paint off from underneath. So one thing that I'm really interested with this piece is actually that iridescent precious gold that was a much thicker color than the other paints. And I think that might be part of the reason why we've got this beautiful line here, the trace of that iridescent precious gold running through the center of some of the other colors. And then I think we've got some iridescent precious gold in the background, which actually became quite thin and dilute in the background there. So I think it worked really nicely, actually, having the combination of the thicker paints and the thinner paints. Anyway, I am really loving this piece, really happy with how it turned out. Thanks everyone very much for watching. Please let me know what you think in the comments.